Hey guys, welcome back. This is Ajaxx here, and today, Software Sundays as usual, we're going to talk about how to become a better programmer. Alright, so step number 1. You want to write out what you're going to program first. Don't just go and start hacking away at the keys if you don't know exactly where you want to go. If you do that, you will get to a point where you're like, crap, I miss putting this if statement here, or this doesn't make logical sense because I need to do this step first and this step. You want to write it out so you can start with the small problems first and work your way up. Don't start with the biggest problem and work your way down because that's just redundant. Step number 2, practice. The same way your muscles learn things by doing it over and over again, your brain is a muscle. You must practice at least once a day. At least. If you don't practice every day, or if you take 2 weeks off from coding, if you are starting out, trust me, when you come back, you're going to be like, wait, how do I do this? Why is it saying this is initialized? Blah, blah, blah. If you do not practice every day, you will forget. It's just like you don't use it, you lose it. So you must practice every day. Step number 3. This is the most important one of them all to me. For someone who is either a CS major or is learning to program because you want to get into the industry, you must write your code out. Not pseudocode. Write out the code on pen and paper or a whiteboard, piece of receipt, whatever you want to use. Write out the code exactly how you would type it in a computer for the computer to understand. Because when you get to interviews, they may not give you a computer. A few interviews that I've gone to, I've had the luxury of having a computer and being able to type it. If you do not have that, or they won't have the IDE that you're used to using, so you know all the shortcuts and not actually how to type it out. When they give you a question, they're going to want you to write it out and then explain it. Please, write something small and then type it out, or type something small and then write it out. You want to get this skill instilled in you, because then when you get to interview and they ask you a question, you're going to be like, oh crap, I know Command N, so I can do getters and setters and IntelliJ, but I can't remember how to write a getter and setter. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Step number 4. Utilize all the methods that a class has already built in. Like Java, String has a whole bunch of methods that do things for you that you don't have to do yourself. Do not reinvent the wheel. Yes, you do need to know how to create the method to which reverse a string, or to change all the characters into lowercase letters. But when you're not focused on that, learn all the helper methods to learn code. Use it to help you build certain projects that you do not need to reinvent the wheel for. You don't want to repeat yourself. There's no point in doing something that's going to take 10 lines of code when you can just use .reverse to reverse a string for whatever program you're trying to create. Now, if you're at an interview and they want you to reverse a string without using the helper method, of course, you need to learn the logic behind that. But learn your helper method. It's going to help you build programs faster. Step number 5. Read other people's code. You will learn how to do a specific task another way by reading someone else's code. One way, you can do it using a for loop. Someone else may use it doing a map. Then you'll learn how to do the same program using a map. You want to read other people's code because then you'll see other ways of how to create a specific program that you've created. And even if they use the same exact technique you use and you're just lost, use their code to just slowly go through it. Write it out like a for loop, counting to 5, and then printing out something to the screen. You want to know when you're at 5 so you can stop printing. You can use a while loop for that, or you can use a for loop for that. Reading someone else's code is going to help you learn how to code. And in the industry, you don't build everything from the ground up. You come in to someone else who have already built the code for you, and you have to learn what's going on from reading their code. So step number 5, read other people's code. Step number 6, Find a mentor. Especially if you're learning on your own, you want to have someone explain certain concepts to you that you can't grasp on your own, or just for them to practice with you. Find a mentor. It's okay to ask for help. That is the number one reason why some people in the industry either get fired or never move up, because they let their ego take over them, like, oh, I know how to do this, I can figure it out, I got this far. No, it's okay to ask for help. Find a mentor. There's plenty of websites to find a mentor. It's okay. Find a mentor, ask questions, as many questions as you want. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to bother this person because such and such. No, they're there to help you. Granted, don't, message them at 1 a.m. talking about, I have a bug, I don't know what's going on, and, don't do that. But go out and look for a mentor and find a great mentor and stick with that person. And then once you feel comfortable enough, branch away from the mentor. It is okay. Step number 7, and the last step in the way of becoming a better programmer. Learn your IDE for the love of God. At first, I'm not going to lie, I was terrible at remembering shortcuts. I just did everything the long way. There is things that you can do in IntelliJ to make life easier and make programming so much faster. Let's say you've created a program that you want to use, but you want to put in a method. You can just copy all the code that you did. I forgot the command to be exact, but you can copy all the code that you did and create a method from that. You don't have to copy, paste, name the method, do all that. No, the IDE will do it for you. Learn your IDE, learn your language, and once you feel strong enough in your language, branch off into another language. Being in the programming world, you will be learning all the time, and you're not going to always be stuck with the one language that you know. Just in case, learn something light if you want, or learn something that's another object-oriented program. Whatever program language that you decide to go with, stick with it and grow for it. Don't look at just what's growing in the industry right now. Pick something that you like, that you feel comfortable with. Learn it. Find the IDE that fits best for you, and keep practicing. Again, thank you for listening, guys. These are the 7 ways to become a software developer or a programmer. So for Sundays, Ajaxx